The Pentagon is asking for the 2027 military budget. They asking for almost billion. It's $6 trillion. $6 trillion. I got to change that. So yeah, that's crazy. They're asking for $6 trillion for 2027. To be to get to fight a war with China. Man, that's an imperialistic budget. And to go to all out war, that's a telltale sign right there. Telltale sign right there. To ask for that kind of money, you know, and you cutting out all the services and shit, man. Man, all of the apocalyptic DVDs and where they talking about the end times and the Illuminati, that shit real. See, that's the one thing we fail to understand, that they don't have to really lie about shit, because they don't think you could do a goddamn thing about it. No way. They don't think you could do a goddamn thing about it. But when you talking about $6 trillion, you talking about a large portion of the economy. And you talking about a large portion, and you talking about, number one, that the majority of the wealth of the United States is already hoarded by the top 10%, already hoarded, and they gonna make sure that a lot of that, the majority of that money come out of the lower class. You see, the working class. They ain't gonna pay for it. They gonna find all kind of ways to make sure that they are not the ones paying. They're gonna pay a little bit, but you gonna pay most of it. But you can't even go and get services. They want to cut off the welfare. They want to cut off the Medicaid. They want to cut off this. They want to cut off that. But then and then and charge you all these high ass taxes. Inflation is through the fucking roof, and then you asking for this kind of money to go fight some goddamn war. $6 trillion. Man, make that shit make sense. So, yeah, and I knew it, all that 1.5 trillion. I knew that was some bullshit. They've been really living, they've been spending all that money, that go to the military budget. They've been putting that shit in their pocket. They ain't really had to fight no war for a while. So they telling you, oh, they need this and they need that. And just like I just showed y'all with the Walmart, they putting prices on that meat and shit and whatever it is, and it don't even weigh what it weigh. So they getting a kickback from all the military companies. They building this shit, but they tell you what they charging up front, but that's not what they really charging. And so a lot of these military industrialists, military complex industrialists, who senators and all of that. I heard Arkansas is one of those states where they got a lot of military companies in Arkansas. They getting big kickbacks and they spending all of that damn money. But now, and expecting that, because you fear China, they put the big boogeyman out there. Oh, Iran is a boogeyman. Russia coming to get you. China coming to get you. Kim Jong-un is coming to get you. They can make you feel, anxiety that, that they gonna try to attack America and whatever, and you have to pay for security. That's just like this goddamn Golden Dome and all of that shit, And what good is that gonna goddamn be when the motherfucker you fighting is got overwhelming missiles where they can flood the goddamn dome and shit, because that's what they doing over there with the Israelis. They just flood the sky, and yeah, I know it can knock out some shit, but when you shooting high powered shit, that even if one land, you gonna have just pure devastation, you see what I'm saying, then it don't make no difference. It don't make no motherfucking difference, you know. And so I don't know how many trillions it costs for the Golden Dome, and then you're low on missiles, stockpile missiles. Then you got and your Navy is getting old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got some, yeah, but your Navy is getting old, and you ain't got shipyards and shit. You know, you didn't let these Chinese beat you in every motherfucker. They beating you now. It's just a fact that they beating you, and you didn't let a lot of shit diminish because you're greedy. You don't want to pay people. You don't want to pay skilled laborers. You know, there's welders that know the technology, putting the ships together. You let that shit diminish. Where China was building up they got more ports than any other nation in the world. They got more shipyards than any other nation in the world. You know, they taking over the oceans and the seas. That's why you got to separate from this European, because he's so dumb. You know, you got to separate anyway. But you know, you thinking he's smart. The motherfucker ain't smart. They beating his ass now. Because a lot of people know what he's doing. That shit then got old. They can't come like that no more. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like back in goddamn you know, when y'all first attacked a lot of, you know, nations in Africa and in Asia. These is militarily advanced nations now. And so, you know, to go in there and try to fight, a lot of these nations got a 1 million man army now. They could put a 1 million man army together. They might not all be skilled soldiers, you know, which is critical now. I ain't saying just take any type of, you know, and throw a untrained, yeah, indeed, you know, and that's why you got to get away from him before you be destroyed right along with his ass. You know, you got to get from up under these beasts, because they you know, this shit is stupid. But we say it's stupid, but you don't know what's behind the scene, what they doing over there, because that's too, you know what I mean, some of this shit is too obvious. You know, you keep coming back talking about they making deal. They ain't making no, you selling oil, motherfucker. You selling oil, you doing all type of shit. Both of y'all getting paid under the table. Act like you warring with me. We gonna knock off a couple motherfuckers. You gonna come in power. Act like you my enemy and shit like that. We gonna go to war, and you know, I'm gonna bomb some shit, you know, and I'm gonna be strategic, and then we'll come back, you know, after all the shit is said and done, after we make trillions and trillions of dollars. I help you build the shit back up. You know what I'm saying? And which will be nothing. We'll build the shit back up for, you know, for 1/5 of what it took to build it. You know, and we'll build it up bigger and better. You will be in power. We'll all be more filthy rich. You know, and you know, I believe that, and I know some of it to be true. You know, ain't nobody that goddamn dumb to not see what's going on. And they be telegraphed in a lot of their moves before they even make them, or while they're making them, you know. And that's was the first thing that popped up in my head. I'm like, well, shit, you just conquered Venezuela. You done took over all this oil, but it's a oil. Where's the oil shortage? You gonna pay for everything. You gonna pay for every goddamn thing, and they might bomb you with your own, you know, the shit they take out of your taxes, and then you can't, you know. But everything in the country that went up, inflation that drove and then they taking your little money to go buy bombs and shit. But you know, none of the money is going to services that's actually could help people in need. You know, that's in the country. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah, so you know they ain't fooling nobody. Fucking Donald Trump is a piece of shit. You know, real talk. But anyway, family, $6 trillion and probably rising, man. This shit is crazy. Get over to Patreon, family. General SETI, over 600 exclusive live streams. There's no greater Patreon page out there. General SETI, Etsy, One Stop, KingSETI.com, online marketplace. Get over there, family. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends, and I'll be black. Boom. Black power.